My entire marriage was a part of an elaborate scheme, and I was the only person that didn't know. I found out on our 7th wedding anniversary, the night my husband had planned a surprise dinner, candles on the table, my favorite playlist, the good wine we had been saving. He had put real effort in, and I was standing in our bathroom crying because my sister had just called me, and I could not make the tears stop. She started with, "I have to tell you something. I have been carrying this for 7 years, and I cannot do it anymore. I thought someone had died." I told her to slow down. She didn't. She and my husband grew up 3 houses apart on the same street, best friends from the time they were 8 years old all the way through high school. She introduced him to her college roommates, attended his graduation, was there when his dad had his first heart attack. She knew his family, he knew hers, their mothers still text each other. I had no idea. 7 years together, and I had no idea. He never mentioned her name to me, and she never mentioned him, not once. When I stopped and thought about it, I realized there had always been something slightly off about their energy whenever they were in the same room, a little too neutral, too careful not to make eye contact. I always wrote it off as them not having much in common. I was wrong about that too. I met him at a work event about a year before we started dating. Big industry mixer, crowded room, cheap wine in plastic cups. He walked up to me specifically, made a joke about the music, asked what I did. We talked for almost 2 hours. I remember going home that night and telling my sister I had met someone interesting. Her exact words were, "That is great. Tell me everything." I thought she was just being supportive. She was gathering confirmation. She had sent him there. She knew about the event through me, knew I would be there, and called him and told him to show up. She said she was worried about me. I had been single for almost 4 years. A relationship before that had ended badly. The kind of ending that makes you question your own judgment for a long time. She watched me shrink. She wanted to fix it, so she built him a file on me. That is the only way I know how to describe it. She sat with him before that event and gave him everything. My favorite restaurants, the authors I was obsessed with, my sense of humor, how I respond to sarcasm, what makes me actually laugh, the type of man she knew I was drawn to, the qualities that made me feel safe, my deal breakers, the specific things that had ended past relationships, the patterns I said I could never tolerate again. He memorized all of it before he ever walked through that door. Every first date felt electric because he already knew exactly what to say. Every time he remembered a small detail I mentioned once, it was not because he was naturally attentive. He had been trained on me like a study guide. I kept thinking about our 3rd date. We ended up at this tiny bookstore I loved and had never taken anyone to. He picked up a book by one of my favorite authors and said something so specific about her writing style that I grabbed his arm. I thought, this is the one. This person sees the world the way I do. My sister had given him talking points on that author. He proposed 2 years later at a small overlook outside the city. No crowd, no performance, just us and the skyline. I had described that exact spot to my sister when I was 19. I told her if anyone proposed to me there, I would say yes without thinking. I had forgotten I ever said that. She had not. I sobbed through the whole thing. I thought it meant he knew me at a level no one ever had. He did know me, because she handed him the map. 7 years, 2 kids, a house we painted together, holidays with both families, fights we had and worked through, a miscarriage we survived together, inside jokes so specific they would mean nothing to anyone else. And the entire foundation was built on a script I never got to read. My sister kept saying she just wanted me to be happy, that she knew he was a good man and only gave things a small push, that whatever came after the beginning was genuine and real. But I cannot stop thinking about consent. I never got to choose this with real information. Every moment I thought was fate had already been arranged. Every instinct I trusted was a response to a setup. He is downstairs right now. Dinner is probably getting cold. He has called up twice asking if I am okay. And I am standing in this bathroom looking at my own reflection trying to figure out if I actually know my husband, or if I only know the version of him my sister designed for me to fall in love with. I don't know how to go downstairs. I don't know how to sit across from him and pretend I did not just find out that nothing about us started the way I believed it did. The candles are probably still burning.